Good morning, guys. Hope you guys had a very good weekend. So we do have some gap downs pre-market. I think the market gave us a hint on Friday, and we also mentioned in Discord that there's a very good chance that we do get a gap up, right? Now some things, if you read the gamma report also, and also if you're doing your own research, right? We do have the May 4th FOMC coming up, and then the Russian default as well. So obviously that's one of the biggest key events after this week's tech earnings that we have. And most of the tech earnings that we have this week, they hold majority of the indexes, right? By the percentage wise. So their moves will definitely may have some wild swings. They can absolutely rip on earnings. Last earnings, Amazon ripped up huge, Google ripped up huge. They announced splits and whatnot, right? So let's see what happens this earnings. And SPX, first on SPX, if you read the reports, 4450 was the volatility trigger last week, and as soon as we stayed underneath it, and then we saw what happened with the downtrend, right? This move, if you follow the reports, right? And one thing that I do want to report, spot gamma is not by a person. You guys need to understand it's a data driven, it's algorithms, right? And those algos are likely to be right majority of the times, right? Because everything here is backed by algos, right? So there's no bias in there. It's the truth with what it is in the market. If you understand how to read that properly and you understand to make sense of it, it's going to help you in your trading a lot. And I am the witness for that. It's helped me a lot in the last 6 months. And I think so if you guys pay attention to it, we post it pre-market, post-market, and so take advantage of it. It's there for you for free, right? And so these two big candles that we had. Now this move right here, if you were following along the last few weeks, it was told that there's not much support below in the market when the market falls, right? They repeated this a few times when the market kept holding it here, right? And that move that came was all of a sudden, all right? So anyone that went long here in the market thinking out of bias that we're going to have an earnings run, this, that, completely got screwed in the last 2 days. All it took was last 2 days to take out this entire move which took like many weeks to form, right? In 2 days, they took out the entire move, right? So that's the preparation. Now we're under the 50 MA again, right? Looks pretty bearish, and the levels today that we have, the put wall has shifted down, gamma strikes have shifted down. And now if we just zoom out to the weekly chart on SPX, right? If we zoom out the weekly chart, it's a clear tell that we're likely in a new downtrend, right? Is it going to go straight down? Hell no. They will give you rallies in between, right, to make you bullish again. They will give you rallies in between. They will make these reversal candles where you will get bullish. You'll try taking overnight plays, and the market is going to screw you over. All right. So be careful with those rallies. They're likely going to be put driven, right? And majority of the puts are not going to be sold until the FOMC, I think, and I do agree with that. So we're not going to get any substantial rallies, but what we may get are the expiration rallies, the small rallies that we usually get, right? And so today also, if the market dips in the first half of the day, today if we have a continuation in the first half of the day, right? So if we have continuation in the first half of the day to the downside by any chance, there's a good chance somewhere in between, in the middle or towards the end of the day, we might see a rally. We might even have a reversal candle today. I don't know. It's a possibility. All right, so just keep that in mind. And if we have a rally early in the morning, then there's a good chance that we might even sell off into the end of the day. All right, so it depends when the rally comes. We'll look, read some flow. G Money, I think, is going to help me on that, and we'll see how the flow is. So pay attention. And on our voice chat, in the last week, there are so many plays called, right? LB, Bucky, G Money. Many of these guys have been on fire. Yash, so many plays called on voice chat. So pay attention, right? Some of you guys I know are not able to attend voice chat, which is fine. So we do type most of them out as well when we can. But some fast scalps, obviously, they're done live on voice chat because by the time we type, we take our exits, right? So that's SPX. I'll keep that in mind. And 4050 is the lower support level, which is all the way right here. Right, 4050, which this is a big support that the data shows. But currently we will have all these support levels here as well. I think 4200 will be big, and then we see how 4200 holds. All right, and if I put my levels on, we have the implied volatility moved roughly towards 4320, and I think if we get 4320 early in the morning or daytime, that will be sweet, right? That will be a very good time to get some scalps to the downside. But if we come to the downside first, then we can take a shot at 4230-ish for a play to the upside. And right now, these combo 4, combo 3, combo 5, all these technical levels are in play for support and resistance. It's up to you how you play them and how you manage your account. All right. And Twitter, a lot of drama going on. Again, the thing with this name is now it's stuck at 54. Basically, that's the offer that's gonna come in, and I think is he's probably gonna take Twitter private. Now Twitter, if you have any long-term options on this above 55, 56, is wise on this pop today. If you understand the move on Twitter, on this pop today, if you're an options trader, you should understand this on your own, right? If I go on ATVI, for example, ATVI, right? This stock did not move ever since they got that offer from Microsoft, right? Or the deal which was supposed to go through. I don't know what's really happening here, but the stock's been sideways, all right? So the same thing with Twitter. If Musk does end up buying out Twitter, let's give me 1 second. If he does, and what happened here? Oh, okay, my bad. So if he does end up buying Twitter, let's say at 54.20, and he takes it private, he just holds it, then the stock's not going to move, right? Then it's wise that you take your profits on options, and then later on, if it runs, it's going to run on him if he wants to take it public. However, that's going to work, right? So a lot has to be figured out here. It's not to me, it's not clear. I'm still trying to figure out. But above 54, if the stock squeezes today, and if you have options, please manage your profits is the best way, I think, to deal with it. And I think some of you guys do have the $50 strike calls on it, right? So take advantage of this strike. And sorry guys, I'm still not feeling well. My throat is kind of messed up. And then we have Tesla. Tesla's one name that we all wanted to buy puts. Well, most of us did last week. I put the weeklies, which I actually went to zero on me, right? One stock that held all day. But on the weekly, there is a very good chance this is the one name that's holding up. Google, Amazon, they've already given up a lot, come down a lot. Apple's on its way, but Tesla is still holding near its highs. All right, Tesla's earnings are gone. The only thing I'm waiting for right now is the other tech earnings, Apple, Microsoft, Google. Once these pass, then there won't be much catalyst for Tesla also to go to the upside. And if the market is weak, if tech gives up again, then in the coming weeks, the way it's shaping up, then I think Tesla has a long way to go. Right, we can at least see a $700-800 zone. So even if you catch the 100-point move to directional to one side, that's a lot of money to be made on options. Even if you don't hold it for 100 points, even if you hold it for 40 or 50 points, that's a great play. All right, it'll be a nice little downside play. If the market gets a lot of weakness, then Tesla's going to come down with it as well. And maybe Tesla 50 MA one more time, and then we see what happens at the 50 MA. Right, and then in the coming months, if the market is weak and all these recession talks that we have with the yield curves and whatnot, all that plays out, then Tesla is probably going to visit this zone right here, which is roughly $600-500 zone. All right, and I think it's going to happen personally. So let's see how this works out. PayPal, another example, continues sell all the way from 311.86. Right, again, nobody would have thought it's at very critical support right now. How low does it go? Right, based on this, it can even hit all this support level right here. What I was actually going over some charts last night, it can go all the way towards $55-60. Right, PayPal, it can even go lower. So this is actually year 2000 in repeat. Now that things are shaping up, now we can actually say the year 2000 is in play one more time in tech after 22 years. Right, the stock has come from 310 to here. Would you go long here? Maybe a very tiny scale in equity, but personally, I wouldn't even go long here, not even a tiny scale in. I'll give this stock at least another 3-4 months, see how the market reacts, and then maybe we see if I want to play equity, because I think we can get these much lower. All right, pins, another stock, right? While Snap, Twitter, Facebook actually held, but this stock they sold it off again after a bear flag, and now the next lower level I see on pins is right here. My mouse, which is roughly the lows of 2000 May 20, which is roughly $15-16, right? So no need to fight with these stocks, no need to be stubborn thinking it's going to go up with a reversal candle, these and that. They're just going to kill you. They're going to keep on going down. No bounce here is big enough to actually pay you on your calls unless you take your profits early in the morning. All right, and Netflix also gave up a lot of gains, right? Netflix is actually a great company, I think, but from 700 it's gone all the way to 215. And now because I belong into a movie industry, I've been in it for many years, and I know some people, they're actually having trouble selling their product to Netflix now. Netflix actually rejecting it, right? And there's a big reason for it. They're laying off workers, which is not good, right? And I should have been smart enough a couple of months ago when they were saying they're having some troubles with Netflix, right? It's not the same no more. Should have picked it up from there, but I think now the selling makes sense, right? Maybe there's something really bad in the coming months that's coming, competition, more streaming services, whatever that may be. right? But insider stuff in Netflix is definitely not good right now with a lot of movie producers and directors. That's something I can tell you because I do have I belong to the industry. Those of you that know my past. MCK Bucky, I went over this chart. It's a great chart. Yesterday you posted a very nice cup breakout. Not really much of a handle here, but just went parabolic. But a clear selling pressure on the weekly. I think this stock can easily see this zone right here where it was trying to struggle to a breakout when it was breaking out. So roughly at least a 30-40 point move down. So MCK, guys, keep an eye on it. It's a chart by Bucky. I think it's a great play. And Bucky, if you see the volume on, you take any position, I would love to jump on this play with you. Right, so MCK is definitely on my list, along with Bucky, and then we can probably have this MACD cross done as well by then, and we can see some downside on this name, right? And then McDonald's also, we'll keep an eye on this name as well, right? I think it's probably going to break below the 50 MA right here one more time. It's probably going to break on over this 50 MA and then give us a retest of this support one more time, and then let's see what happens here. And two names that I do want to discuss in Europe. This has a lot to do with our markets right now. If Euro stocks breaks down, right, I think it's going to come down towards 3,400, 3,500, test it one more time. For now, it's just making a reversal. Keep an eye on this, guys. We did break this support. Then the VGK that you guys have is based on these right here, right? Then that one is also going to pay us, right? So Euro stocks, if it breaks below stays under 3,700, the next we have is all the way towards 3,500, and there's a gap fill that needs to go here. If you guys look on the VGK chart, we do have some gap fills all the way towards 56, 55 bucks. All right, so those names can play. And then DAX also a similar action, right? So from the daily reversal candle, right, is going to make a lot of people bullish. Is this strong support? Hell yeah, we can absolutely go back to 15K. But watch, the longer it stays near 14,000, probably going to bear flag it, and then we break down towards 13,500 and 13,000, and the drop might be big and fast. All right, I don't think I can talk no more, guys. I'm trying to force myself, but I'll see you guys back in the chat. Just manage, no need to rush into anything. Pay attention on voice chat. There will be a lot of great plays given on there. I'll see you guys there.